Jagradev, Jai Masters. In business, in sports, and all sorts of aspects of our lives, it's a very common thing to do to map out, pay attention, review where you're going. Business, we have business plans. We have quarterly plans. Public business has to have quarterly budgets, quarterly plans. And then you have monthly or even weekly plans that guide you to making those. And you have annual budgets, you have 5-year plans. It's a very normal thing. People don't tend to do that from a deep enough place with their life. The way I like to look at life is as follows. You are born, and you're going to die. In between, there's this time that's called your life. If you don't be careful, that time will slip by, and you will have missed it. You will not have paid attention. You will not have got anywheres. Why? Because what happens to most people is they don't pay attention that there's this space between birth and death. What they pay attention to is survival. They pay attention to that in a given moment, I'm scared, I'm not okay, I want something, I don't need something, somebody doesn't like me. And the moments go by without you having a perspective of what's going on. We call it survival mode. You're just trying to be okay, trying to get a relationship, trying to fix the relationship, trying to have enough finances, trying to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the moments get lost, and there's no guidance. There's no overall breadth of your life. That's a heck of a thing to waste, is a life. And if you don't pay attention, I'm telling you, you won't realize it. You'll waste it. It won't go anywhere. So you start by asking a serious question. What do I want? What do I want to make the purpose of my life? And it's not a philosophical question, not really. It's a personal question. And what you're going to find out is that the answer is really very, very simple. I want to be okay. I want to enjoy the time between my life and my death. That's what everybody wants. They want to have an enjoyable span where, as they go through the different stages of their life, they enjoy it. It's beautiful. They're happy. Why would you want to spend the time between your birth and your death and not be happy? Well, how can that be the meaning of life? To not be happy? Well, I suffered a lot. Mazel tov. I mean, congratulations. All right? If you want to give it meaning, you have to start by enjoying it. If you don't enjoy it, of what purpose was it? I don't understand why we have to talk about this. All right? It's like if you go out to play golf, why? You're just chasing a ball. Just take the ball and drop it in the cup with hand. No, it has no meaning. It has no joy. It has no challenge. Life is the same thing. I like to tell you people, life is like a kiss. Why is life like a kiss? Listen to me. A kiss has no meaning other than the joy you get from it. There's no meaning. Touch fingers. It doesn't mean a thing. All right? It's the fact that your Shakti, your Chi, your spirit opens and you feel this upward, tantalizing, beautiful thing, hopefully, when you exchange with somebody like that or intimate relationships. Life is exactly the same. The meaning of life is not complicated. The meaning of life is the experience of the moments that unfold during your life. You get to experience them. I hope you're enjoying them. I hope you have enjoyed every moment of your life, every single moment. Why? Because if you didn't, you wasted that moment. You only have the moments that happen to you and the moments that will happen to you. That's what it means to be alive. You can't change that. The only thing you can change is how you interface with, how you do with the moments that are unfolding during the period of your life. The more moments that unfold and you feel joy, you feel inspiration, you feel love, you feel, wow, this is great, the better life you had. It is not true that he or she that dies with the most toys wins. The person who has had the most joy, inspiration, and excitement and love during the most moments of their life had the most meaningful life. Okay? It's very simple. It's unbelievable. So if you understand this, and I hope you do, I hope I don't have to sell that to you, right? I mean, what else is there? Like I said, I suffered the most. I complained the most. I didn't enjoy the most. That's mazel tov. I hope you had a very nice life, because you didn't, did you? In the end, it is measured by the beauty and joy and inspiration that you experience during your interaction with the moments that were unfolding in front of you. Why would the moments unfolding in front of you? Because that's the only moment there is for you. There are 800 billion zillion moments going on at the same time, all over the place. There's all kinds of moments going on, not just on Earth, everywhere. Probably 800 billion zillion is not a big enough number for every moment that exists everywhere. But you only get to experience the one that's in front of you. It's just the way it is. It's the nature of the game. You will only experience what is picked up by your senses. And that's it. And it is so little. It's nothing compared to what's going on. So you better enjoy that. It doesn't impress me that you wish it was different, because it's not. It doesn't impress me you would have rather done something else. Those bumper stickers, I'd rather be sailing. Sorry, I feel sorry for you. So in other words, you're not enjoying driving your car. You're not enjoying going to school. You're not enjoying doing what you're doing because you'd rather be doing something else. So moments are going to unfold in front of you. That's what your life is. We can discuss later how much control you have over the moments that unfold in front of you. It's a very deep question. But the main point is moments are going to unfold in front of you. You'll be driving down the road, that's a moment. You'll be sitting here, that's a moment. You'll be eating, that's a moment. You'll walk into a restaurant, that's a moment. Every moment, there's a moment. How are you doing with that? Because I'm telling you, the quality and meaning of your life is the more you're enjoying, experiencing, blown away by, higher, inspired by the moment in front of you, the happier person you are, the wholer person you are, and the more you are bringing beauty into this world. To prove it to you, the opposite is I don't like the moments unfolding in front of me. How you doing? I'm depressed. Of course you're depressed. Why? You don't like the moments unfolding in front of you, right? You don't like your relationship. You don't like what you look like. You don't like that you're getting older. You don't like that your hair's turning gray. You don't like this happening. You don't like that so-and-so died. I don't like that the weather because it's raining. If you don't like it, you won't like it. So you come into a situation where you understand moments are going to unfold in front of you during the time between your birth and your death. Your consciousness is here right now, and you have been experiencing these moments. I'm telling you, to take inventory, almost like your business plan, is to sit down and say, how am I doing? Not how am I doing, did I make money? Not how am I doing, do I have a wife or a husband and children? And not how am I doing, am I respected by others? Because if that's not turning you on, if that's causing you neurosis and anxiety and insecurity, then they're not good. They're meaningless things. It's like setting a meaningless goal that doesn't ever generate anything. So a meaningful thing to do with your life is to sit down on a regular basis. I wish you would do it, take inventory on a regular basis, which is, how did I do with the moments that just unfolded? How am I doing the moments unfolding in front of me? And am I ready to do well with the moments that come next? Because it's a motion picture. It just keeps coming. And the answer to those things to almost every single human being is, I never thought of it that way. I'm busy trying to make the moments be a certain way so that they're the way I need them to be so I can be okay. Can I repeat that to you? I'm not busy enjoying the moments. I'm not even checking for enjoying the moments. I'm busy fighting with the moments to try to make them to be the way I decided that if they are that way, I'll be okay. I'll feel inspired if I get this job in this time, in this way, and I can work in this city, and this person's my coworker, and a woman's my boss. You understand that? I got these conditions that I've made up. And I didn't say I'm going to enjoy the moments life gives me. I said life better give me the moments I made up or I'm not going to enjoy it. Is that not what you're doing? Right? And they tell you to do that. Decide what it is you want, what it is you need, what it will turn you on, what you're passionate about, then go and try and make it happen. Well, what's happening during the time that's not happening? I'm frustrated. I feel jealous because other people get it. I feel left out, etc. And then what you're going to find out, if you live like that, and everybody does, if you live like that, that two things happen. One is you keep changing what it is you want. If he just talked to me, oh my God, that would turn me on so much. All right, now he talked to you. Well, if he asked me out, I didn't really mean if he just talked to me. All right, well, he asked you out. Okay, well, he's picking me up in that car. I thought he had a nice car. Anybody like that? It keeps going on. It never, ever, ever lets you feel, once in a while, once in a blue moon, whoa, this is exactly everything. I feel so inspired. This is unbelievable, right? How many times have you felt that? What percentage of the moments that pass by you made you feel that way? It's so small, it's ridiculous. And then it doesn't last. Then something happens. All right, I'm begging you because I care about you. Wake up. That is not how to live your life. You will never, ever have a good life. And by the way, you'll be afraid of dying. Why? Because you haven't achieved what you want to achieve. That's why people are afraid of dying. The boat didn't come in yet. I want something. I'm going to tell you a secret. If you get to the state I'd like you to get at, where you're filled with joy and love, and every single second is the most inspiring thing, and you're just like, there's this dance between you and life, and let's boogie. It's every second. I'm talking about every second is turning you on. Every second is blowing your mind. Every second your heart is flowing open. You know, you're afraid of dying? A person like that says, if I died tomorrow, I'd be fine. I've experienced what I wanted to experience. Everything else is just gravy. All right? How would you like to be like that? Right? You are capable of living like that. The question is, are you willing to step back out of this neurotic mess you've created about how everything needs to be for you to be okay and realize, I was born, I'm going to die. Those are givens. There's this time in between in which I'm going to experience the moment that's in front of me. I would just love to send you home. Can you deny that? That's what the truth is. I was born, I'm going to die, and I'm going to experience the moment that's in front of me every moment. So the question is not, is that true? That is true. The question is, how are you processing it? How are you doing with it? What is your interaction with that moment? And right now, as a normal human being, which you don't want to be, because they're not very happy folks, right? It is a battle with the moment. It creates anxiety, it creates insecurity, it creates worry, and all kinds of things. The other thing that happens is there are moments that pass before you in the past that are still bothering you. Well, that didn't fit within the formula of I have this time between my birth and my death, and I want to get off on every moment that's in front of me and feel inspired. If I've blocked myself up that there were moments that happened before that I didn't like, they weren't the way I liked them to be. First of all, when I'm done with you, you won't think like that. There are no moments that can unfold in front of you that are anything other than wonderful. They're teaching experiences. They're challenging experiences. It's like playing sports. If you play sports, you really don't want the other team to lay down and just let you score every time. You want a challenge. You want to not know what they're going to do and try to dig down inside and bring your best game forward. Life is exactly the same. It brings its best game forward. Are you willing to bring your best game forward? So when you get to the point where you realize that there is a state of existence, a state of life, in which every single moment is feeding you. Every moment is a challenge. Every moment is exciting. Every moment is passionate. Every moment is filled with love. How would you like that? Every moment. Every moment. You go to bed at night, it's like just joy. You don't review. They tell you, review everything that happened to you today and judge it on a scale of 1 to 10. Don't ever do that, right? That's just making yourself more neurotic. When you do your best every day of every moment to enjoy the moment that life is giving you, then when you go to bed at night, giggle. Giggle. I want you to giggle. That was fun. Wow. And if you wake up in the morning, which is none of your business, make yourself you wake up, you're still there. I want you to giggle. I wonder what will happen today. I can't wait to see. I'm going to grow so much. I'm going to enjoy this. That is how you live your life. Doesn't that sound like a nice life? Nobody told you could have that one. You can have that one. Period. Everyone can have that one. The problem is not, can you enjoy the moments unfolding in front of you? The problem is that you've decided within your head, it's like a neurosis, it's like a habit, right? An addiction. You've decided within your head that there's a certain way the moments need to be for you to be okay. Admit that. There's a certain way a person has to behave, the way they have to dress, the way, if you go into a restaurant, what kind of music are they playing? What's the special of the day? Who's serving you? Is it the same cute waiter or waitress last time? Every single thing you've made up in your head. The moment has to be that way. And it's not that way. And because it's not that way, you're not happy. And you struggle with it. And then what happens is every once in a while, fairly often, not all that rare, a moment unfolds in front of you that is so much not that way that it really bothers you. Notice it's not the moment that's bothering you. It's the fact that it's not the way you wanted it to be. I'll take a moment that everybody knows would be terrible. You come home, the wife comes home, and there's a note. I've left you. I'm leaving. That's it. You'll never hear from me again. I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. Oh, my God. That's traumatic, unless you didn't like the guy, and he were Catholic, and you couldn't divorce him, and all of a sudden that letter sitting there, you're in ecstasy. It is not the event. It is not the moment. It is how the moment interfaces with what you decided you want or what you don't want. That which turns you on turns her off. That which turned you on yesterday turns you off today. Can it happen? Because you change your mind. You just decided in your mind how you want the moment to be. And if it isn't the way you want it to be, and I'm painting it, let's say it's really not the way you want it to be, it's not the way you want it to be a lot, then it really bothers you. It does. It really bothers you. You get really upset. And what happens is that leaves a mark inside of you because you can't let it go. And so you hold it and you store it inside of you. In yoga, we call that a samskara, right? That this impression that went on in a given moment, the moment is over, but it's not over inside of you. You know anything about that? You actually store the disturbance that the moment created inside of you. It's not that you stored the moment's gone. You understand? It's gone. It went by. The next moment happened. There have been 6,000 moments since that one happened. In a second, they all go by, right? But you stored your reaction to that one. And you stored it as a negative thing. So now you have begun to store inside your mind and your heart these negative impressions based upon your past experiences. Now, when the moments unfold in front of you, not only could you have a problem with the moment because it doesn't match what you want, but it reminds you of the moment that happened before that you didn't like. And all of a sudden, an inordinate amount of reaction or fear or insecurity or something is coming up inside of you because that's what the past moment, a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago or 25 years ago. Psychology tells you it could be from your childhood that something happened you didn't process. And now a moment's unfolding in front of you. And next thing you know, you got all this garbage coming up inside of you. Well, guess what? You can't be okay if that's what's going on. I just painted a picture. I don't care what you do, period. I don't care what happens to you. You are not going to have a nice life. Why? Why, again, can we do it very quickly? You're in here. The moment's unfolding in front of you. The moment that's in front of you, I'm sorry, is the moment that's in front of you. Nothing to do about it. All right, it already happened. There it is. He said this, he did that, she did that. The menu's this way. It's called reality. We have a word for the moment in front of you. It's called reality. There ain't a thing you're doing about it. There's something you can do about it inside, how you interface with it, but you ain't changing reality. Maybe we can change what happens next, but you can't change what happened before, and you can't change what's happening right now. Not literally, in this moment. So this moment is what's in front of you. It comes in. How well does it come in? Well, it depends on whether it matches what I want. It depends on whether that moment matches what I like or what I don't like or what I decided I want it to be, or does it look promising to help me get what I want, or does it look destructive? How well does the moment match what you decided you wanted inside your head? Normally, it doesn't match very well at all. Let's get that straight. The probability that moment is going to match what you made up in your head is slim to nil. So basically, it comes in, I'm having some issues with it. That's one problem. But then there's a second problem. I call it the secondary explosion, which is it comes in and it hits your stuff from before. It's bad enough it doesn't match your self-concept. It doesn't match your belief structure. It doesn't match what you want. Therefore, it's disturbing. But then you have all this stuff stored in there from your childhood, from high school. I always say high school. You got a lot stored in it from high school. High school was tough, wasn't it? So it comes in, and all of a sudden you're feeling rejection, you're feeling insecurity, you're feeling whatever the heck it is that was impressed upon you and made a big impression on you from the past. Like literally somebody could talk to you and say something and remind you of your mother yelling at you. Your mother died 30 years ago. The person was a man who said it. How in the world could it remind you of your mother? It just, your mommy's in there and she ain't stored well. She's coming back up. All right. Now you tell me, I don't want to tell you, what chance do you have to have a nice life? I already said the first problem is the moment unfolds and it doesn't match what you want. How do you feel about that? Bad? Terrible? Okay, it matches what you don't want. I feel even worse. Okay, so there's level one of it not being a nice experience. What's level two? It hits the stored stuff from the past. And all of a sudden I got this whole commotion going on inside of me. Somebody says one word, I'm yelling at them. Okay? So you wake up and you realize you're not going to have a nice life. It's going to be a problem. So what do I do about the fact that it's not so much fun, the moments? I try to control the moments so they be the way I can tolerate them. I try to make sure you don't say the thing that hits my stuff. I try to make sure you behave in the way that I expect you to. You're home when I expect you to be home, not 3 minutes later so I freak out and I don't know where you were. I try to control, and people, we call it control issues. People say, do you have control issues? Everybody has control issues. Do you understand that? Once you start meditating and going deep inside, you realize, oh, I have way more control issues than I ever thought I was. You're a bundle of control issues. There is a way you need it to be for you to be okay. More so, there's a way you need it not to be, so you're not okay. And by the time you got that going, you are at war with life. That's why you have to take the pills. That's why there's anxiety. That's why there's insecurity. That's why there's jealousy. That's why there's all of this mess inside, because I'm not okay. And the moments that unfold, and by the way, it builds. If you get used to the fact that the moments that unfold are not comfortable when they come in because they don't match, and then suddenly they really hit this stuff and create all kinds of drama, then you're afraid of the next moment. If somebody says, what do you think the future is going to be like? It doesn't look pretty. Why? Because it hasn't been pretty so far. So is there an alternative to this? Yes. What is the alternative? The alternative is to take a step back and realize I was born and I'm going to die. Very good. The gift that was given to me is the time in between. Now, what's the reality of that gift? You're going to spend that time sitting on a planet, spinning in the middle of absolutely nowheres. Did you ever think about that? Right? I have a picture of it on that wall over there. When you walk out, take a look. It was a picture taken from 2 million miles out. Cassini turned around and took a snapshot of home. It was this tiny little thing. It's like a magnifying glass to look at it. This tiny little thing spinning around in the middle of black, empty space. Okay, you're going to spend the time between your birth and your death spinning each day, doing a 360 orbit, rotating, and then each year you're going to circle around the sun. I'm telling you, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do it every year while you're sitting here. Why would you have a problem with that? Why is that difficult? Why is it not fun? You drop down to a planet, and there's things going on in front of you. Well, wow, look what's going on. Right home to Mom. Hey, Mom, look what happened. Look what's going on. This is weird. The middle of a planet, in the middle of nowheres, total black, empty space. And I land on this planet, all this stuff's going on. There's sounds and touches and shapes, and whoa, and they all pass right in front of me. Why are you not having fun? Why are you not having fun? It's just an experience. You're not having fun because you won't let yourself have fun. Because you have developed within your mind, with what the personal mind, you develop all these concepts and views and opinions and preferences and likes and dislikes, haven't you? And if the world that unfolds in front of you doesn't match those, you're not having fun. So the answer is very straightforward. Get rid of those. Instead of devoting your life to decide what you want, what you don't want, how it should be and how it shouldn't be, what better happen, what better not happen for you to be okay, you devote your life to letting go of all that noise and wake up in the morning and saying, I was given another day on the planet Earth. I'm going to spin around on my axis and things are going to happen in front of me. I hope this sounds totally crazy to you, right? That's how a spiritual being lives. I woke up where? On the planet Earth. I could have been on Mars. It would have been very boring. There's nothing going on Mars. I woke up on the planet Earth. It's like winning the lottery. And guess what's going to happen today? Things are going to pass in front of me. Even if I do nothing, they'll pass right in front of me, free of charge, aren't they? People, places, things, armadillos, butterflies, snakes. They're just, oh my God, weather. There'll be stormy and there'll be rain and there'll be like, wow, there's going to be moments unfolding in front of me. Isn't that exciting? And if a part of you says, no, I don't want it to rain today, you see what it is that's ruining your life. The rain is not ruining your life. The fact that you don't honor and respect the fact that it's raining is ruining your life. The fact that your husband or boyfriend doesn't put the cap back on the toothpaste is not ruining your life. It's the fact that you can't enjoy that the idiot can't put the cap back on the toothpaste and giggle. It's, oh, I love him. It makes me love him more. What do you care? He puts the cap on a stupid toothpaste. Do you understand that? Or he slurps his soup. Okay? Or he's 5 minutes late when he comes home. Or, like, enjoy the man, will you? You're with him. Enjoy your wife. Enjoy your husband. Enjoy the experience that are unfolding in front of you. Don't sit there and say, unless they're the way I want them to be, I not only will I not enjoy it, I'm getting divorced. And it causes all these problems in your life. Same thing with your job. Enjoy your job. Enjoy what you're doing. Why? Because the alternative is ridiculous. The alternative is to not enjoy what you're doing. Are you hearing me? But you see that tendency to say, I can't enjoy it unless it's the way I want. That's death. I'm telling you, that's the worst thing you can ever say to yourself. What you say to yourself is, however it is, I can enjoy it. Whoa, however it is, I'll learn to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun with it. Reality wins. This is it. It unfolds in front of me, and I'm going to learn to enjoy it. If there is a part of me that can't, instead of doing what everybody else does, which is try to manipulate the moments passing in front of me to match the craziness I developed inside of myself, I'm going to use the same energy, the same will, the same intention that they're trying to manipulate the moments to let go of the part of me that's ruining my experience in the moments. So if there's a part of me that doesn't like what you wear, or doesn't like how you sit, or doesn't like what your hair is, or does, whatever the heck it is, that's causing me to not be comfortable with my wife or my thing or my situation, I'm going to try to get rid of that. I'm going to try to rise above that. I'm going to do the work that's necessary so that every single moment that unfolds in front of me for the rest of my life is so beautiful to me, is so awesome. I'm so honored to experience it that I can't even breathe. It takes my breath away. It's just unbelievable. It's the most, wow, look, it's raining. Wow, it's 100 degrees out. Oh my God, I wonder if we can get to 101. I'm sweating so much, I'm like sopping wet, and I have to go to work. Oh, this is so neat. What if you were like that? Would that be neat? That's what spirituality is about. It's about changing your inner attitude about the reality of life that is being gifted to you. The moment in front of you is a gift. Do you understand? No one has ever experienced the moment you're experiencing. No one has ever sat there at this angle and looked at what's happening, have they? No one ever will. Whoa, that's a mind blower. It is every moment of your life is a unique gift being given to you and nobody else. Wow, that's pretty neat, isn't it? And what are you doing? I don't like it. Oh, what a nice way to do gifts. All right. All right. It's like people write me a lot about this law of attraction because everyone's talking about, well, do the law of attraction, that if I want something, attract it to yourself. What I'm sitting there saying is very straightforward. If you are busy attracting to yourself what you want, you are busy still playing the game of trying to get what you want. So you're not okay with the moment. Instead, why don't you practice and understand that that's what I'm trying to say. If somebody's giving you gifts, so I give you gifts all the time. I love you to pieces and you're special to me and I'm just flowering you with gifts. And every time you give, you go, I didn't want that. I wanted it to be red. I don't want it to be blue. All right? That's not the size I wanted. It's what I wanted, but it's just not the size. I wanted it to be a little small. Whoa. How much longer am I going to give you gifts? That's what you're doing to life. She is presenting to you a unique moment that she never gave to anybody else. And she never will. She's not fickle. This moment's yours. You're driving down the road. What you see, no one's ever seen. It never was that way before. The trees grow. All kinds of things go on. The cars are different. You are seeing a completely unique moment. No one will ever see it again, and no one has ever seen it. And all you're doing is complaining. All the time. All the time. I'm late. I don't like the way he's driving. Oh, my God, the light changed. I might have to stop at the light. It's ridiculous. Why don't they have electronic lights that pay attention to how big the traffic? Look how big the traffic is. That light shouldn't have turned red. Is yours like mine? Does it do that? Okay? That is like telling life, forget it, baby. I don't like the moment you gave me. And the reason I brought up this law of attraction is people say, well, you can attract to yourself by meditating and concentrating on something. Yes, you can. All right? Trying to force life to be your way. But if you are a person that gives gifts to somebody and the reaction of that person every single time is, oh my God. That I never expected anything like that. That is so beautiful. Thank you, sir. That person wants to give you more gifts, don't they? Life's that way. Forget laws of attraction. You be appreciative and open and inspired and totally drawn into the gift of the moment that's given to you. Wait to see what happens to the moments. Just somehow life just keeps rising higher and higher. Plus, it doesn't matter because you're enjoying everything everywhere. So those, now we're going to talk about how to get there. Those are the two different lives you can live. Door number one, door number two, you choose. Door number one is, I've had a lot of bad things happen to me. They left all the depression on side of me. I don't ever want it to happen again. I had a few nice things happen to me. I want them to happen again. And so I've made up in my mind how I want things to be and how I don't want them to be. And I'm sitting there judging every single moment as it passes before me to see whether it matches that or not. And that determines how I'm doing. That's door number one. Leave it closed. Put locks on the thing. All right? Door number two is, I don't know what's supposed to happen, and I don't care. I'm sitting on a planet spinning in the middle of nowhere, and this is far out. I get to have these experiences, and they're free. I don't have to pay a single thing. They just unfold in front of me, and then hi. And they come there. Thank you so much. And every single moment is an enjoyable experience. It blows me away, and then I die. Okay, there it was. That was a wonderful life. There's this planet that's so beautiful. I told you Earth is God's idea of Disney World. There's all this stuff going on. You can do computers, you can do relationships, you can do money, you can do business, you can meditate. Oh my God, there's anything you want. It's just, what a camp. Unbelievable. And you're suffering. Imagine sending your kid to Disney World and they come back neurotic. Oh, the lines are so long. I didn't get to sit next to Sally on the right. Why'd you send me there? I thought you liked me. Whoa. Well, what are you doing? You've landed on the most beautiful planet in the entire week. We've never found anything like it. All right? And all you do is complain. It's the truth. Why? Because you made up in your mind the way you want it to be. That's why. Right? Now, if you think these are weird teachings, I'm going to take you aside for a second and talk about the Noble Truths of Buddha. 500 BC, there was this guy who got into his head, man, people don't seem to be very happy. Rich people suffer, poor people suffer, healthy people suffer, sick people suffer, young people suffer, old people suffer. It looks like everybody's suffering, right? And he went out and he devoted himself seriously. I want to find out why everybody's suffering. And what's so neat, and I have such respect for him, that he put himself through starving, he meditated, he left his family, oh my God, he did everything. And then he one day walked back in the marketplace glowing, and he went to all the other monks that were studying stuff, and he said, I have figured it out. What? I figured out the cause of suffering. Whoa. Are you listening to me? That's literally what happened, 500 BC. He said, I have figured out the cause of suffering. And they said, what do you mean, the cause? The cause is. No, the cause. Oh, and come on, there's poverty, there's people are evil, they're not fair to each other, there's inequality of income. I mean, oh, come on, man. There's all kinds of things, right? Right? No. I have figured out the cause of all suffering. Wow. Would you like to hear what he said? First noble truth of Buddha, all of life is suffering. It doesn't mean you break your arm every day. It means you're suffering. You got issues, don't you? Do your parents have issues? Your grandparents have issues? Have you noticed rich people have issues? We see it a lot nowadays. Old people have issues. Everybody's got it. All right. First noble truth of Buddha, all life is suffering. Second noble truth of Buddha, the cause of suffering is preference. Now that's a lifetime's worth of study. Sometimes they define it as desire. I avoid the word desire because what you mean by desire as a Western mind is lust, greed. That's, of course, that would make you suffer. He didn't say that. He said the cause of suffering is having a way you want it to be. That's what a desire is it not? A desire is having a way you want it to be. A preference is having a way you want it to be. Okay, so those who interpret, those that followed him, the Zen patriarchs, etc., they interpret it as the cause of suffering is preference, just so you understand it properly. But desire is fine, because if you understand what desire is, a way you want it to be. And he said the cause of suffering is desire. If you wish to end suffering, end desire. And then he has the Eightfold Path of how to do that. Now, what does that mean? It means everything we just talked about. It means that you have inside your head a way you want it to be, a desire, a preference, a way you don't want it to be. Therefore, you suffer. Period. I saw a snake once. It scared me. I don't want to see snakes anymore. Forget it. Your whole life's over. Listen, I'm not exaggerating. Just take one thing. I don't want to see snakes anymore. I'm telling you, you will never have a nice life. Why? Because you're scared to walk outside. There might be a snake. You could have in your head, all you have to do is, I don't want to see a snake. What does that mean? Don't go for walks. You better stay inside. One of those suckers could ruin your life. I don't want to marry somebody who turns out to have a hidden personality that I didn't catch. Forget it. You're dead. You're going to have nothing but bad relationships. Why? First, you won't get married, because at any point it could turn out you missed. I mean, tomorrow she could show up that she's got this hidden agenda, and how do I know, right? So I better not get married, right? And the second thing is, you get married, you watch your clock. You literally mark your calendar. All right, day went by, she didn't show up yet. Day went by, didn't show up, this is working. You're ruining your life by just one thing you don't want. And it's the same thing with you want. I want to meet the perfect guy. Go on, make up a guy in your head. Guess what's going to happen? You don't go out on dates. You go out on interviews. I'm serious. All you have to do is have a preference and you're dead. You will be looking for that. You're looking to see it'll happen. You're looking to see that it won't happen. You're not open. You can't enjoy the moment. Why? It might not be what you want it to be. and you don't have one of those, you have all these preferences and concepts and views and things about the way you think things need to be for you to be okay. Where did you get those? Based on your past experiences. You have these impressions that have been made on you. Some of them were nice, some were not nice. And I'm telling you, all of your preferences are based on those. Skinner, the psychologist says, man is the sum of his learned experiences. You've learned these things. There's nothing holy about them. You didn't decide what to like or not like. It just kind of comes up, doesn't it? All right? And I'm telling you, it comes up based on your past experiences. So basically, you get to the point where you wake up and realize, I have a problem. Me. I have devoted my life to my problem. I sat there and said, if it wants something, I better go get it. Otherwise, it won't be okay. If it doesn't want something, I better avoid it. Otherwise, it won't be okay. Instead of noticing that's what's making you not be okay. That's what a spiritual person has woken up to realize. The part of me that's telling me how things need to be for me to be okay is what's making it so I can't be okay. And so all of spirituality becomes changing the inside, working with the inside to where you're more open, you're more receptive. Let me ask you a question. If something happens and you like it, or something happens and you don't like it, which way are you better off? Which way are you better off? Which way are you happier? If what happens that you like or what happens that you don't like? All right? Then why don't you work on liking more things? Why have a list of 5 things that if they happen, they'll make you happy, and then kill yourself trying to get those 5 things? Why don't you work on making it 10 or 20 or 30 or 50? Since you're deciding what you like and not like, aren't you? Nobody's making you do that. Why don't you learn that you can change? Wait, I forgot. Do you ever change your mind? Oh, you can change that. Have you ever liked something and decide you don't like it? Well, then you're proving to me that you have the ability to go inside and change what you're doing in there. That's called your inner work. I don't have to call it meditation. I don't want to call it meditation. I love that you meditate. I love you do all the practices. Let somebody else teach you that. I want to teach you this. I want 24/7 of your life, not a few hours a day. I want you to realize you are ruining your life. You're ruining your life. You will never, ever have a nice life if the only way you're okay is that the moment in front of you matches what you want. It ain't going to happen. Plus, you're worried that it won't be, and you get on the wrong. It's just hilarious. Why don't you go inside and sit there and say, these are things that right now I don't like. I'm going to learn to like them. All right. Now you get down to, well, Buddha did it with Eightfold Path. How do you do this? What I suggest, and the teachings that I've learned work, they work for me, and I see they work for people all over the world, is start with the simplest things in the world. I first want you to prove to yourself that you're capable of doing this. It's sort of like, if you want to play the piano, don't start with Mozart and Beethoven. Start with the scales. Anybody can play the scales, and the more you play them, the better you get, and then that will lead you into something else. The equivalent of playing the scales in the spiritual journey, I think, is the weather. I want you to start with the weather. Why? It's out there. It always changes. The weather is the ultimate of reality, right? It's going to be what it is at the moment in front of you. Learn to enjoy it. What? Learn to enjoy it. But what if I don't? Learn to. That's like saying, but what if I can't play the piano? Learn to. You're capable of learning things. What do I care if you learn the piano? Big deal. You play it once in a while. Learn tennis. Weekends you go play tennis. How about if you learn to be okay? How do you learn to enjoy things? That's something worth learning, isn't it? So instead of spending your time trying to make things be the way you think you'll enjoy them, spend your time learning to enjoy reality. So you start with the weather. It's going to be hot sometimes. Have you noticed? It's going to be hot sometimes. But I sweat. That's right. That's part of it too. I'm supposed to like that? Yep, that's right. Why? Because if you don't like it, you won't like your life. If you don't like heat, 20, 30% of your days you won't like. If you don't like sweating, hear me? If you don't like cold, if you don't like heat and cold, oh boy, you're in big trouble, right? And you know you don't. And if you don't like humidity because your hair curls, but I don't like it, my hair curl. Like the humidity and like the curled hair. Look at my hair. It's hilarious. It's all curled up. It's hilarious. I love it. You're welcome to do that. You're the one who says you don't like it. You can like anything you want, can't you? So what does that mean? How do I do that? First of all, do you understand you want to do this? You don't want to be the person that says, I only like it, prissy. I only like it when it's between 68 and 72. Humidity has to be below 50%. The wind is not more than 6. Okay? And you just sit there and you're basically saying, I'm not going to enjoy the day. Or I have to move. to Arizona or find some place. What do you, now you've limited your life into a cage. That's like going into a cage because it has to be the way I like it to be. I want you to free yourself, to break out of this. So how do you do that? How do you do that? I hope you're hearing me. It's called liberation. This is literally a form of liberation. You're freeing yourself from the cage you put yourself in. The cage of the weather has to be a certain way. You put yourself in lots of cages. I want to talk about that one. So what do? You wake up in the morning, you look at the weather thing, it says 103. And your mind goes, ah! And Master used to say, Yogananda used to say, replace every negative thought with a positive one. This is a technique called positive thinking. It's good to start. It's like playing the scales. So it goes, ah! The minute it goes, yeah, you say, oh boy, I hope it gets to 105. I hope it breaks all the limits. I wonder if the thermometer will pop open like in the comics. Have fun. I don't care that something inside of you is freaking out. Don't hang out with that part. Don't suppress it. Just say, okay, you be like that. I'm going to be like this. You have the right to be any way you want. You are in there. Make it be the way you want. Not by suppressing. We'll get this subtleness, right? It's not by suppressing this habitual part of you that likes to complain. It's just habits, okay? It's not suppressing it. It's just not getting into it. So if it wants to say, hey man, you just sit there and say the opposite. Neutralize it. I love it. I can't wait till this is going to be fun. But I'm going to sweat. I love sweating. This is going to be so much fun. I wonder if I can sweat more than I've ever. I wonder if I can sweat enough to where I can swim. All right? I'm telling you, have fun. I used to do it. I live out here in the middle of the woods, right? It's hot. Been out here for, who knows, 45, 50 years. And it gets hot. Something gets hot. And he used to complain. And then I did the following. This is just for me. Everybody, each person is their own path. I want you to find your own way. So for me, because I'm science-minded, very logical, I did the following. I taught you this once before. I really did this. I sat there and said, okay, it's hot. I hear you. It's hot. Why is it hot, Mickey? The sun. The sun is hot. Mickey, the sun is 93 million miles away. 93 million miles away. Miami's 360. How big would a fire have to be in Miami for you to feel hot here? It ain't happening. If all of Miami was on fire, God forbid, if all of Miami was on fire, you would not feel it here. That thing is 93 million miles away, and you're telling me you're getting hot? That's pretty neat. And then I sat there and said, well, what do you mean the sun? Well, I mean the star. Your closest. You mean you're circling a star, and you're so close to a star that you're getting star burn? That the star is making you. That's pretty neat. Stars are nice things, aren't they? Imagine being so close to a star that you could feel its heat. You are. And you start looking at it saying, that's exciting. That's pretty neat, isn't it? That you literally feel the heat. All right? Then he sat there and said to me, I said, okay, why is it hot now? Well, because it's summer and you're closest to the star. And I looked it up. Shh. Do you know that in the summer you're the furthest away from the sun? In the winter, you're the closest. Did you know that? Go look it up. The summer solstice, you're at the furthest away. The winter solstice, you are close to the closest point. Well, then why is it so hot? The tilt does it. The angle of the tilt. So it's the tilt of the earth as it goes around its orbit. That's what creates summer and winter, not how close it is to the sun. By the time I was done with that, he just shut up. He said, okay, you win. This is fun. Okay? It's just using your mind. You got a mind anyways. You're going to use it. Don't let this habitual garbage run your life. That's true positive thinking. It's not a matter of attracting to yourself what you want. It's a matter of using your mind to appreciate and accept and worship, by all means, the beauty of the moment that you're getting to experience. Some people are not comfortable with night. I'm scared. It's dark. What is night? Does somebody go out there and turn off the sun? Is there a little switch? No, the sun shines exactly the same day and night. There's no day or night. It's the fact that the earth spins on its axis and you're facing away from the sun. It's just, come on, the sun's still there. Don't worry. It's doing the exact same. The sun doesn't know summer, winter, day, night, nothing. It just sits there and shines for 5 billion years. Dig it, man. All right? It's like you're not going to change it. Why are you not having fun? So you start working with yourself. And little by little, you're going to find out that these negative energies are dissipated and overcome by your positiveness, by the light you're shining. Master used to say, light dispels darkness, doesn't it? It's dark as could be. Turn on light. It's gone. Darkness goes away. It's the same thing inside yourself. So you learn to start playing with yourself, playing in a positive way. The one way to do this is positive thinking. You do it with all kinds of stuff, all right? Once you graduate with the weather, if you can do it with the weather, I'm telling you, it will change your life. Just the weather. Just do it with the weather. Enjoy all the weather, right? And you just get to the point where you understand, I can do this. I can raise myself. The Gita has a line in it that says, one should raise the self with self, not trample down the self. And it's using Atman, those of you who know the Sanskrit, Atman, capital A, for the oversoul, your great being, you that I'm talking to, and then your lower self that complains and fetches all the time. All right? One should raise the other, not you go down there and get involved in it. Listen to me. If you're not enjoying your life, it's your fault. You did it. You decided not to enjoy your life. You decided, I don't like it because it's hot. Then you did it. He didn't do it. Now, then you graduate something bigger. You do it with the weather. You do it with the weather, right? Completely impersonal. I beg you, develop the tools of being able to do it. Now, the second one I use is you're driving down the road and you're in a rush and the car in front of you is going 15 miles an hour below the speed limit. It's a 55 speed limit. They're going 30 or whatever, okay? And you can't pass. You're stuck behind them. Okay. Shh. How are you doing? Not so good. Is it because of the car in front of you not doing good? Is the car in front of you bothering you, or are you bothering yourself about the car in front of you? What if you said, oh boy, look, this person's driving slow. I get to relax. I'll do my mantra. I'll watch my breath a little bit. It's not my fault. Nothing to do about it. It's just like the weather. I learned to do it with the weather, and I'm going to learn to do it with this. So she'll turn. And usually it's 2 blocks, 3 blocks. They turn, and you enjoy the moment. Which would you rather do? Not enjoy it, get all neurotic and upset and tell everybody when you get to work, oh my God, these people don't know how to drive. All right? Or enjoy your life. This is called enjoying your life. Or are you going to sit there and say that a driver in front of you has to drive the way you want for you to enjoy your life? Because you're going to find out lots of times they don't. So choose and keep begging you to understand it is you that is ruining your life. The events are not ruining your life. You are ruining your life about the events. How about we stop doing that? It'll change everything. It's all about changing yourself. But you do it with every moment of every second of your life. What do you see if you start paying attention to this? You're going to realize it's way beyond anything that you think I'm talking about, how much trouble you cause yourself. You cause yourself trouble about everything. Go into a restaurant. You've never been there. Oh, the tables are too close, all right? Oh, my God, those people are smoking in the back, and the music is too loud. And it says on and on and on, right? And then people move next to you, get a table next to you, and they start talking too loud. Oh, my God, the portions are so small. What do they think? I'm a tiny person? Or they're so big. I'm on a diet. It's not hot enough. It's not salty enough. By the time you're done, how'd you enjoy your dinner? Terrible. It's never coming back here. You're not going to leave where you were because it's inside of you, and you're going to take it everywhere you go. Go to Paris and go into a restaurant. You're going to do the same thing. So you learn to work with yourself. I'm begging you to see this. It's something you have to decide to do with yourself. It's not a weekend retreat. It's something you decide, hey, I am making my life negative. My life is not negative. It just is what it is. It's life unfolding in front of me. So you start to work with yourself. You start to raise yourself little by little. And I'm telling you, people write me from all over the world after reading the Untethered Soul. Just sit there and say, oh my God, my whole life has changed. Yes, of course your life has changed. It's like if I put on glasses and they're dark, and now the world's dark, and I have to run around and find lights to shine and everything. It's very tiresome. Why don't you take off the glasses? All of a sudden, everything becomes light. You have put a veil between you, your consciousness, and life. And that veil is dark. That veil is constant complaining. That veil is it has to be the way I want for me to be okay, and it better not be the way I don't. Do you understand that? Take off the glasses. That's what I'm begging you to do. All right? So you can do it through positive thinking. I've been teaching these techniques lately. I don't teach techniques, but I've been doing them for you. All right? All these years I always said, I'm not going to teach techniques. You figure it out. Here's 3 very simple techniques. They're a hierarchy. Each one's deeper than the other. You start with the simple ones. Positive thinking. I gave you many examples of that. Replace the negative with positive. If it says I don't like it, say I do. I think it's wonderful. Sorry you don't like it. I like it. I'm going to have fun with it. Right? And next thing you know, you haven't fed the lower part of yourself. The second method that I've been teaching falls under the category of mantra. That doesn't mean you have to go to India and find a guru and be given a mantra and have it be Sanskrit and all this stuff. The purpose and methodology of mantra is very deep. What it says is, Your mind is habitual. Have you noticed you can get a song stuck in your mind and words keep going on in your mind? You can train your mind to repeat something over and over again. And if it does, it gets in the habit of saying it. Well, I want this mantra going on inside your head. And I don't care what it is. It can be peace, love, right? Or a very simple one is, I can handle this. I like this. That's I want this nice mantra. I like this. I like this. Just the back of your head. Start saying when you're meditating. Start saying when you're driving the car. Just get into the habit. Train the layer of your mind to say, I like this. I like this. I like this. And what will happen? It's going to start going on by itself. When you're taking a shower, you're washing yourself. I like this. I like this. Well, what's the purpose of that? Now when you walk out in the world and someone's driving too slow in front of you and your mind starts to go, I like this is going on in there too. You choose where you want to put your consciousness. Now it's not a matter of changing your mind. It's a matter of shifting your consciousness. That's a higher thing. That is always going on in there. You choose. You want to hang out with the negative or you want to hang out with the mantra. And more you're going to find out if you hang out with the mantra, everything just comes and goes, and you're fine. You're very centered. You're clear. All right? That's the purpose of mantra. Now, if they come to me and say, but isn't it true if a guru gives you a mantra that has power? Yeah, it's true, right? But I don't see any gurus giving you mantras. So do it this way. Right? It's perfectly reasonable, and you get something going in there. You're going to find out it changed your life. Now, all of a sudden, the boss comes and starts criticizing you about what you did. He doesn't like what you did. You have a choice. But you told me to do it this way. This is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with it. Other people like it. Or, I like this. This is fine. I love getting yelled at. I love getting yelled at. This is wonderful. I enjoy this. I should listen to him. Maybe there's something he's saying that's worth listening to. I doubt it, but maybe. All right? And you just raise yourself above the negative. All right? Then there's a third method, and this is the highest. If I had my way, I'd only give you this method. But I've learned that you can't always do it, so I give you the lower ones. All right? Relax. What? Relax. What do you mean? You're driving down the road. Somebody's driving too slow. Your lower self, call it your lower self, right? Starts coming up, complaining. You in there that notices, relax. It's part of witness consciousness. I notice this is happening, right? I'm in there, I notice. Just relax. But I need to do something about it. Yes, you do. You need to relax. If you can relax in the face of the noise, it will pass. And you will have gained a strength that's priceless, which is you start to understand you can handle no matter what goes on inside of you. If you can relax through it, it doesn't bother you. Let's say you're saying stuff to me that I'm not comfortable with, and I just relax. I have to yell at you, I just relax. And then you stop saying it. I'm fine. I'm fine because I was fine the entire time you were saying it. Because I went to a place inside of me that's fine. I didn't shift my consciousness into the garbage that was coming up inside of me. I relaxed back into a deeper place inside of me. That is the highest thing you can do. I can't even use words to tell you how fast you will grow. If you do that with everything that comes up inside of you, just say, here it comes, here's the noise, here's the junk, here's the lower self, relax. Relax your shoulders, relax your chest, relax your tummy, relax your buttocks. Just relax, relax, and then lean away from the noise. You'll see you're in there, the noise is coming up here, lean away. And what's going to happen is, one, you'll leave it alone so it can release, and two, you'll be leaning back into what we call the seat of self, leaning back into the consciousness itself. And I'm out of time, so I have to do it very quickly. You have no idea what you just lean back into. All of a sudden you start feeling love and joy and waves of light pouring inside of you from back there, because that is the nature of your inner self. It's such an ananda, eternal conscious ecstasy. It really is. But you're staring at something that's not. Your consciousness is enlightened. Your consciousness is the most beautiful thing in the whole universe. But it's staring at this garbage that you built inside your mind. If you stop staring at the garbage, you will start to experience the light. And it happens naturally. And then everything goes up from there. It just gets higher and higher and higher and higher. And nothing can hold you back. And that's called the ascent. That's what you call spirituality. I call this whole pathway spirituality. So there, you have this time between your birth and your death. The minute you want to, you can raise yourself. And when you raise yourself, it's not that everything else changes. It's that your experience of everything else changes. You start to enjoy things that used to freak you out. God, it's challenging. There was a storm, and I went out there, and I took a chainsaw, and I was helping neighbors, and wow, it was so beautiful. Oh, I thought it was a terrible experience. It was a beautiful experience, because you made it a beautiful experience. And you do that with everything. All right, so this is how to have a beautiful life. All is about how you're processing it inside yourself. And this is the work you can do on yourself. Jagrata.